Alright. And I think it has to be Phoenixes here, and I would be absolutely amazed if my opponent doesn't also pick Phoenixes.
Hmm.
I am very heavily being out-leveled right now.
That is the tendency of the Hound, even with the huge XP nerf.
Well, I'm fighting Hound against Hound, so it doesn't really matter that that's the case, but the problem is I'm being out-leveled in a very bad way.
Hmm.
I'm being out-leveled in the direct fight here. Scorps are doing nice amounts of damage though.
I'm considering taking out Alone just to click the extra range and damage so that these Vulcans can
extra range,
keep pace.
good plan. I'm also hitting extra range and extra damage.
Yeah. Get that edge.
He is not hitting extra range. I should have done that before. Okay, he also dropped the fort. And he does have AA missiles, so the Phoenixes might need to go at some point in the future.
Well, if all you do is cause him to click that, and then you sell out of the Phoenix, did you tech your Phoenix yet?
Nope.
Yeah, you haven't invested. So you could actually cause his forts to be...
This is just a concern.
detriment.
The good news is that he has no anti-air whatsoever as far as I'm able to tell. Oh, there is one Mustang. Never mind.
This is a huge turn for us, because you're going to take off so many of his units, and I've actually got a very solid run.
I wouldn't be
here.
surprised if he does end up hitting the AA button here.
The big question then is, do you preemptively start selling out of the Phoenix?
I wouldn't mind doing that.
You could probably
honestly.
give it a turn.
I think I can give it a turn and level them, because then they will survive a few strikes anyway, and I think both of these levels. So sitting on 2 packs of level 3 Phoenixes is not a bad thing.
He's got to do something. Yeah, he's got to do something about that.
Yeah.
And if he chooses the AA, then that means he's not clicking shield or range or overload. Those are all... That's exactly what we want.
These hounds are just getting rolled over, that's why they can't do anything. However, I can get level 4 hounds with item. Did none of my hounds level? I guess this guy is pretty low on XP. I can use that wisely.
I got greedy with tech and can't afford to level these Vulcans.
Well, I'm gonna hit another tech as well. Let's see what my opponent does. If he does indeed go and start hitting the AA on fortresses, I think that's gonna be a huge win for me. Meanwhile, your board looks like something that I would hate fighting against.
Absolutely.
Oh, he does go ahead and click AA.
He did. That's great for us. My opponent also clicked anti-missile, and I can just sell out of my Stormcallers. Like, that was just a free unit drop.
Oh. Yeah, he blasts my Phoenixes, of course. But the good news is I'm a tech up on the Hounds, actually. Doesn't help me this round. I'm losing pretty big, though.
Yeah, but his fortress, the tech there means he's not clicking range. That means my Vulcans are going to continue to feed off of that.
Yeah. I think that was not the best solution. That might just be the edge that I need in order to take this game back.
Well, I think that's an important lesson for everyone watching, though, is even though it looks like a quick short-term solution to click anti-air on your fortress, a lot of times that's a long-term disaster. Now he wants all 3 of those other techs, and that means he's gonna pay 600 more to get them, 200 for each.
And I can just sell out of 0 tech phoenixes. And I can even get a melting point here, but I don't think that's gonna do anything. I think I just want the Sabertooth in order to compete with the fortresses.
Sure, that's a cheap solution.
A very effective solution as well.
Yes.
And as far as the other solution goes, we get Ignite on the Fangs. That is one of the parts of why it's pretty awesome to be playing Fangs alongside the Hounds. The Hounds are pretty bad into Giants, but Ignite either forces your opponent to make some pretty big investments, or it takes them a lot of power to punch through.
That is definitely an unsung hero. The Ignite on the Fang is not nearly played enough.
And I can make my crawlers a lot more annoying if I put split formation on, or what's the tech? Loose formation. I wonder if it really does a lot, but it should negate some of the splash of the Hounds, and they kill the crawlers in one attack anyway. So I don't see a negative here. It did shield though.
Decided to go triple wasp over here and a melter.
And he's got a rhino where you have yours. That's pretty unfortunate.
It is, and that's okay. At least my rhino will hopefully deal with his. Keep him evenly matched, maybe.
Okay, loose formation seems to be an actual menace for him. Because he had no actual defense against it. And the fire is starting to kill fortresses. I'm not cleaning my units up, but there should be fairly few dangerous things coming over.
Okay.
Fortresses with barrier that has been depleted. And
alrighty. Archer, thank you for the raid. Glad to have you. We're in a 2v2 with SirLimbo.
And I'm currently on the losing end of that 2v2. But you have an assassin rhino.
I do. He got to the tower.
And I think that's gonna be GG's, because that's a marksman glob like you're used to from FFA.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
I'm pretty happy with it as well. Yeah, I didn't win my side. I was caught basically the entire game in a mirror against a course control that had the tempo.
And that's what cost control does.
Yeah.
Until the very end with the fortress, and at that point, it can be pivoted, but it's not the easiest. How do you think your Ignite Fangs did against those?
Does Ignite actually take out the damage? Because I don't think it does. I noticed some fortresses dying to the Ignite, so I'd say they actually did have their play here. I also noticed that Scorpions were losing HP, and not by Fang damage alone. So I think it did do what its investment suggested. The 400 cost was definitely worth it, if you ask me. Also, the crawlers, the loose formation, I think did his job quite admirably. There were a bunch of crawlers going in on top of his units, so that was definitely working as well. Problem was, I didn't really have the shield break on the left side. I never had enough on the left side, to be honest. And I always got broken through.
As far as the loose formation crawler, talk me through that, because I was not watching your side of it. Generally speaking, when loose formation goes to engage, they collapse again. And in this close of a melee, I would imagine not very many of the crawlers are actually getting time to spread out before they're collapsing again. Do you think that you were still getting good value there?
I think I was. The fact of the matter is that he has basically no chaff. Like, if you look at his board, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 units of crawlers at the front. Those get eaten pretty quickly by the Hounds, and then there is a lot of distance to cover still.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have built so much chaff in the first place, honestly.
Well, maybe against a Hound board, it's a tough sell. for me, because you're already going to go with the Ignite Fangs, that's a different approach than I would have gone. That's why I was asking the question. On my board, I would have actually had something more akin to all of your crawlers where they are. I would have Shield Fangs instead, and I wouldn't have the Ignite Fang as an option. That's why I wanted to know if the Ignite Fangs were working for you, and if the crawlers were working for you.
I mean, I can go into the replay, and so can you if you saved it, and I can take another look at it. I will enjoy that much. And see if it actually did something, like slow down the action and see if there's some giants with flame animations.
Just to see that last round to see if the crawlers were doing anything.
I have actually somewhat enjoyed the fire on the hound, not the hounds. I don't play hound fire.
On the Fang.
On the Fang, exactly. So let's see. Oh wait, I don't need to take over. I do ever so enjoy that they made a button to quickly accomplish that, which before took loading the entire thing again, which was just miserable.
Yes, that definitely defeated the whole purpose of trying to learn when you have to, you know, what could actually work here, experiment. It's discouraging to experiment when you have to reload the entire thing.
Yeah. Alright, let's slow this action down to the minimum. And I'm definitely noticing that his lack of chaff means that my crawlers are in fact spreading out. Especially on the flanks, they are very tedious for him to clean up. And then I'm noticing, hopefully... So this guy died the normal way. Yeah, this is a burning giant. This guy is also burning. They were accomplishing something. Like, they were burning down several fortresses, and also they were burning down scorpions of decent level. I think it was actually working.
Okay, so the Ignite we're thinking is working.
Yeah.
I wonder if the loose formation... I think the loose formation, though... I like the Ignite. I think the loose formation... Because there's always the downside. You lose the health pool, and I don't know if the hounds were going to one-shot them regardless or not, because they're getting leveled.
The hounds on my opponent's board were out-leveling mine, and not by just a little bit. So I don't think that health on the crawlers was any concern here. He had some Mustangs, but I think he never bought more than one, and I'm not sure if those Mustangs even were present in the final round, or if he just sold them. And then I can
could
just
ask
watch
him. Captain
marksman.
Dano is present in chat, or at least he was, to say GG.
Oh, very nice. I hadn't taken a look at chat. Well, I haven't watched your...
He said he sold them.
He sold them. Yeah, I don't see them anymore after the final round, so those didn't exist at the time. All right.
Alrighty.
Well, that was a good one.